My name is Connor Kelly. I am the Charity Training and Development Manager here at Local Giving. And what I'm going to talk to today is how to get regular donors online. So what we're going to cover are the benefits of direct debits for charities. We'll then talk through some top tips, some sort of tricks of the trade for attracting regular donors that we see other groups on Local Giving doing. We'll talk through how to set up and track direct debits, the actual mechanics of how to go about setting up direct debit donations online so that you can coherently and competently explain that process to your potential donors. And then we'll talk through some of the resources that we have at Local Giving. So, first things first, the benefits of direct debits for charities, why we are all here today. Firstly, direct debits allow you to have a dependable, predictable income coming into your account every month. Even if the direct debit donation is relatively small, it adds up quite quickly. So just a £10 direct debit, for instance, is worth £120 plus gift aid every year. So you can see how that would add up over time. It's also worth knowing that your charity receives a higher amount of the donation via Local Giving than one-time donations, and that's because the payment provider fee from the cards and from the bank companies are lower for direct debits than they are for one-time donations. So it is a more viable way for you and a more efficient way for you to collect money from your supporters. It's also worth noting that regular donors means you don't have to use time and resource asking your supporters to donate again. The hard part is getting them signed up, but once they're signed up, it's really just a case of keeping them motivated, keeping them interested in the work that you do so they don't cancel the direct debit. It's not as labor intensive as asking people to donate every couple of months again and again. Some more benefits of direct debits. Obviously, regular donors are more loyal and easy to retain. I'm sure every charity had someone who used to give them, £10 at Christmas and then £10 in their summer challenge, but they, for whatever reason, sort of drifted away from the charity. Regular donors are easier to retain and easier to keep involved in the work that you do because you can keep them up to date and show them the value of what their regular donation is doing, even if they might not be living in the same town or be as connected to your charity as they once were. They're often more engaged, so we see that direct debit donors are usually the people who are volunteering with charities, maybe giving additional gifts during campaign times or during match funds. So it's a good way to keep people sort of in the family of your charity and make sure that they are a key supporter. Regular donors can be steered towards higher giving levels. So we often see at Local Giving someone who's had a direct debit set up for a number of years for maybe £10, and then they call in and inquire about how they can increase the amount they give. We actually do see that quite often, direct debit donors cancelling a direct debit and then setting up a new one for an even larger amount to the charity they've been supporting for a couple of months or a couple of years. If you're interested in looking at direct debit statistics, over 60 million direct debit donations were made in 2014. The average direct debit for a UK charity over 3 months is £67, and the direct debit cancellation rate is at its lowest ever. So it became at its lowest ever in 2016. So it's definitely a growing trend. The charity sector is moving towards trying to get people signed up to direct debit donations. Remember that you can also use Local Giving for regular fees, subs or friends or membership associations that you may have within your charity. We can correct those regular subscriptions for you. This is a relatively easier ask for you to make because it might be someone who's already paying their subs in cash or paying it in a check. And it's just a simpler way for you to collect it, and indeed a simpler way for them to view the money that they give to you through their Local Giving supporter account. Remember that you can tie in that with some of our national match fund campaigns. So we have a couple of groups who collect their subs and friends of scheme memberships during our annual match fund Grow Your Tenor. It's worth looking to see if you are part of a regional development program that we run. If you are a member of a regional development program, you may have some match funding that you can use for direct debit donations. Actually, some of the groups in Wales at the moment have £200 of match funding that they can unlock through direct debits that they have set up with supporters. So if you are a member of an RDP, you have some of that match funding, try thinking about using your direct debit to unlock it. So this is a good example of a group on local giving that are doing that. So they have their what your gift could provide section filled with information about what a direct debit would do, and you'll see that they're including information about how much the direct debit will be worth if it has match funding added on to it. So you'll see there that they're highlighting the idea that you could take part in a local giving match fund campaign and set up a direct debit. And I really encourage groups to take part and grow your tenor, which we run usually in October time. So keep an eye out for that in the local giving newsletter. So now some top tips for attracting regular donors. The first tip would be to make sure that you have donation examples that show a monthly impact. So always use that space on your local giving account to frame donation examples in a monthly way. So you'll see here £6 a month allows a child to attend kids club every week for a month. £10 each month funds a regular therapy session for a child. Just frame it in the language of a monthly donation so that if someone's on your local giving page and is thinking about how much they should give, they see those donation examples framed in a monthly way. Another thing you could do, and you'll often see international sort of development charities doing this in large national and international campaigns, is break down the monthly donation example into a daily or weekly amount that becomes more relatable to your supporters. So a good example would be like £10 a month is just $2.50 a week. That's the price of a coffee, certainly in London anyway. £10 a month is just 33p a day, or cheaper than an apple. So by framing it in that way, it's a sort of subtle marketing technique to make the direct debit make the direct debit appear more relatable to your supporter, which of course it is. It is an easier way for them to give by making that donation regular and giving a small amount every month. Remember to target people that are already engaged with your organization. I would say that the people who are most likely to set up a direct debit for you are the people who are actively engaged with your group and don't really need any convincing about the merits of what you do. More, they need convincing about how efficient it would be and how easy it would be for everyone to move the support onto a regular direct debit instead of one-time donations. So try and target people who've donated multiple times before. Try and reach out to those people that you can usually rely on to, put a tenner into the Christmas raffle or donate £10 to a challenge fundraiser over the summer. Reach out to those people who are always, counted on to support you, and explain to them the benefits of direct debits and how it would be more easily managed and budgeted by your charity. Try and reach out to people who volunteer for you, maybe people who fundraise for you, people who've done sponsored challenges for you, members of staff, the trustees, people who have a direct connection and are already giving money through one-time donations. And I would really just focus on how easy it is to set up a direct debit. Explain that it only has to be done once. So instead of going online every couple of months and doing one-time donation, once they set up the direct debit, it's done. Remember to remind them that it comes with the direct debit guarantee. So most of the banks now have mobile apps and online banking that makes it really easy for people to manage their direct debits and to see what direct debits they have set up. And of course, they come with that direct debit guarantee that protects them against fraud. And remember that they can easily keep a track of the amount they give through their local giving supporter account as well. Remember to treat your regular donors differently. Remember to treat them as a sort of special case. Make it seem like they're joining a sort of exclusive club or an exclusive tier of membership or supporter of your organization. Do this by communicating with them regularly, send them a regular newsletter, showcase to them what their money is helping fund, treat them as ambassadors, ask them to share the fact that they donate to your charity online. Try and highlight the long-term impact of their gift. So don't just sort of show them sporadic projects, show them the impact that their regular donation has. So not just the projects that you have planned for the future, but the projects that you're running now, and also information about what you've got planned and where you want to take the organization. Other things you could do are welcome packs, personal invitations to events, or maybe additional information that normal supporters wouldn't have access to. We see some of the groups who have friends of schemes or regular donor schemes having yearly or bi-yearly meetups for all their regular supporters. So, either a coffee or tea morning, or maybe like a wine and cheese night once a year to get all the regular supporters in so that they can network and chat about the fact that they give regularly to this group. In terms of making a direct debit ask, Lauren, who's our Wealth Development Manager, wrote this direct debit ask example. I won't go through it all. You can pause now on the YouTube clip and read it if you'd like. But what you'll see is that she's framing the monthly option as being really easy to set up and really driving home that idea that if someone sets up a direct debit, it would allow the charity to budget for the future and prepare for new service users that might come in. And you'll see she's saying every week we have an average of 8 new people accessing our service. So again, trying to frame it in the language of we need your support to be predictable so that we can help these people when they come to us in need. So how to set up and track direct debits. Firstly, if you want to show a supporter where to set up a direct debit, you just have to send them to your local giving page. So this is Action West London, and tell them to click on that blue Give Monthly button, which will take them through to where they can set up a direct debit. And it's very quick and easy. They just need their bank details, their bank account number, their sort code, and some information about them. Remember that when they have set up a direct debit, you as a charity can see all of your active direct debit donors by logging into your account, clicking on My Donations, and then clicking on Direct Debits. And you'll be able to see a list of the active direct debits that you have and when the first donation was collected. Also information about whether or not gift date has been added, and information if you set it up during a match fund about whether or not it has been included in the match fund. Supporters, when they log into their accounts, can also see the direct debits they have set up. They just have to log in and click on My Donations, and it's down at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side on monthly donations. Remember, if you want to thank direct debit donors, again, just go back to your charity account, click on My Donations and Direct Debits, and you can send them a thank you message through our system. And just try and make sure that you are thanking your direct debit donors regularly, building on that relationship, showing them key insights, and sharing stories about the work that your charity does, what you want to do in the future, and where your organization is going. Keep them interested in what you do. So a couple of examples of groups who have direct debit donors on Local Giving. Here are some groups who have between 10 and 20 direct debit donors. So the first one on the left, Cardiff Food Bank, they usually share things about how much it would cost to feed a family of 4 every month. So framing it in a monthly way and then encouraging people to give a donation that would reflect that. So when the donor makes a donation, they know that they're providing enough money to feed that family of 4 for a month. The Friends of the Art Centre target people for direct debits through their newsletter, which goes out. They target people that don't give or haven't been asked to give monthly before, and they usually offer them a range of different benefits, which might include, early ticket releases for the Art Centre events, or discounted accesses or free access to performances. So just little benefits that come along with making a direct debit donation as a thank you. And then lastly, we've got the Bulldog Boxing and Community activities, who offer free boxing to vulnerable groups such as young people in foster care, and they encourage people to give towards the monthly cost of supporting a young person to come to class for free. So frame it in a way as saying, if you give a monthly donation, it will pay for one child's access to the boxing club for free. And just remember that every group in every type of cause has something about them that they could roughly equate to a monthly donation. So no matter what you're doing, you can frame the work that you do in a monthly way and present it to your donors as a hypothetical thing that they could sponsor through their direct debit donation. So that's it for the day. Remember that we do have some resources around direct debit donations and setting up direct debit through your My Fundraising Toolkit when you log into Local Giving. You can also see some information on our resources page, which is accessible to our homepage. If you are not a member of Local Giving, you can join now for just £96 for a year. That would give you a Local Giving page for the year where you can get one-time and, as we've been talking about, monthly donations. It'll give you access to our regular fundraising campaigns, which includes match funds and competitions that we run for our members. You'll be able to have crowdfunding appeal pages, have an unlimited amount of fundraisers set up their own page to raise money for you online, and you'll also have access to one-to-one support through our help desk and in-depth reporting through our charity dashboard. If anyone has any questions about what we've covered today, please feel free to give us a call on 0300 111 2340. You can also email us at help@localgiving.org. I would encourage everyone to follow us on Twitter as well. That's where we post the most up-to-date information about what we're up to. So you can follow us on Twitter @localgiving. That's it for today. Thank you very much for coming along. And as I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call.